Want to see some Barenaked ladies? Watch this video. The Barenaked Ladies are back with their 13th studio album, released through Raisin Records, Detour, Force. Now, I've been a fan of this band for 23 years, but who's counting? Maybe Ed Robertson. Let's review this album. We start out the record with Ed on Flip, and it's a very fun romp, although some of the lyrical problems and cringe moments are already here. It's fun. It's a promising start to a B&L record, and we do get some framework of the words used throughout the record about a lack of faith in concept. I'm already not jiving with that, but it's a good song, it's a fun song, and we continue the fun with Good Life, a realistic look at both good and bad sides of life. And I find myself relating to the lyrics in Good Life quite a bit. Ed starts rapping near the end of the song, and it almost feels like 1 week all over again. That's a really special moment on this record. New Disaster starts with rock guitars that have been largely lacking in the Barenaked Ladies' more recent discography, and it seems like they are walking a balance between bitterness and humor here, and Ed gets a little bit angry.
Ed punched me in the eye. I love that shout out to retail workers. Yeah!
Kevin Hearn takes the big boy mic on Big Backyard, and this one is my favorite Kevin Hearn tune since ever. It's got a clever story, and again, it's bitter and happy at the same time, and I absolutely love that. Living Well, Live Well sounds like an Eagles hit single with a bit of Badfinger flair. I do like that Badfinger instrumentation that I'm hearing. It's fine enough, I guess, considering this song's a mess. But fans, I gotta tell you, I hate hating, and I hate being negative on my channel. But this is where this album really starts to derail a bit, at least for me. Flat Earth does absolutely nothing for me. It's just there. A girl, you can't trust her. You might as well believe in Flat Earth. If you're going to trust this girl, she'll punch you in the face. Jim Cregan, I think, takes lead on Here Together, and it's a dreamy, foggy 80s synthy song that I didn't really want to hear from the Barenaked Ladies in 2021, if I'm being honest. It's well produced and sounds very, very good in a nice set of headphones, but there's lyrically just this vapid grasp that it has on reality that I'm not really culturing my brain with in any kind of way. Rollout sounds exactly like Flip, but if it were produced with the nursing home crowd in mind. Now we're back with Kevin singing about bylaws over a sleepy, repetitive beat. But Kevin's humorous storybook lyrics are making his songs really stand out above everyone else's. His neighborhood problems are really getting me through this album when the music and the other band members are not. What do I got for one-liners? Bylaws are funny! Back with Ed on God Forbid. And it has some decent moments, but the lyric structure really falls flat. And while I understand what Ed is getting at here, I disagree with such a large part of his ideology in this song that I can't find myself ever enjoying this song properly. It's Jim. Jim Cregan is making a completely different record than the rest of the band. He wants to make a jazz, disco, funk record, and I think we should let him do it. This is a great song, and I know that every lady is a lead lady now, but gosh darn it, it doesn't fit on here. None of this record fits! None of this fits! And then Kevin talks about national parks for a while, and I'm so bored out of my mind that I can't help but start thinking about when we're gonna flip again on this record. We get to man-made lakes, and I realize that there's so little instrumentation that we're never gonna flip this boat. We're going down, and we're going down slowly. Glub, glub, glub. But then there's this one last track. Things get weird on Internal Dynamo, and I'm like, whoa, this is a little bit too late. What is an internal dynamo? Somebody tell me in the comments. It's a kitchen sink, a mix of jazz and rock and internal dynamics. I don't know. This album started out strong, but lost me after 4 tracks. The beginning of it has some of the better material the band has released since Stephen Page's exit, but this is a mess. I am giving Detour to Force 2021 by Barenaked Ladies a 1.5 white flags out of 5. It breaks my heart. I've been in love with this band. Been in love with this band since 1988. And I just cannot get over the decline in quality. Is anybody else with me on this? I usually like the newer stuff. Green Day, Foo Fighters, Weezer. I like the newer albums better than the older albums. Red Hot Chili Peppers. I like the new better than the old. Against Me, like the new better than the old. Every rock band that I listen to, I like Slipknot, I like the new better than the old. But Barenaked Ladies, one of my all-time favorite groups. I just don't know what's going on here. I'm not close-minded. You can look at my ranking videos. I like the new stuff by all the other 90s bands, all the other 2000s bands. What is going on with Barenaked Ladies? They were the greatest alternative rock band of the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s. And it wasn't Steven leaving, because I thought that everything after Everything to Everyone was pretty bad. Their holiday record was bad, aside from a few tracks. But man, I would give anything for some great Barenaked Ladies music. And this Detour to Force, it's definitely a detour, but a tour de force it is not. I hate doing bad reviews. This is my first. I think this is my first bad review. It's so bad, I punched myself in the eyeball. Barenaked Ladies. How could something called Barenaked Ladies disappoint? How? Again, to get back on my positivity streak. Positivity. The first 4 songs are pretty good. I've liked them in my Spotify account. And I will re-rank the Barenaked Ladies on my list of the greatest 230 artists of all time. And we will see what happens. We'll find out in a later video. Please like and subscribe. As always, listen to every song ever.